To Acadia National Park on Mount Desert Island, right?
Yes.
This is our, is it the first sunny day or second sunny day?
Second sunny day. It was sunny on Thursday maybe, or Wednesday, but that was it.
But it was raining again, and actually it looks like we're going into more rain when we leave here. Yay. Anyway, so we wanted to summarize our trip so far. We're just about a month into it, and we've definitely gone through trials, tribulations, hurdles, snatches, catches. So we left Colorado on a Wednesday. We had a drive up to Nebraska that included a wrench light on our dashboard.
Within an hour.
Within an hour
of leaving our house, the wrench light came on.
So the wrench light was on that day, and then the next day it wasn't on at all. I was able to clear it by pulling the truck off the side of the road, and it would go away, and everything was good. So the entire next day, the wrench light never came on. So we thought, well, maybe it was a fluke, and we'll be okay. Well, on day 3, the wrench light started coming back with a vengeance.
Never went off, I don't think. Even when you turned it off, when you turned the car back on, it came back on too.
The problem was when we were climbing a hill, of course towing the trailer and putting a lot of load on the engine and the turbo, it would go into a limp mode and limit me to about 60 miles an hour or less on the interstate, which is a little nerve-wracking. So we were approaching Omaha, and I called ahead to a diesel shop to have them look at it, because the codes that were coming up were a turbo overboost code, which suggested maybe something was wrong with the turbo, was stuck, and the engine was basically limiting itself so it didn't get damaged. So long story short, we found a place in Omaha. We pulled the trailer in and we unhooked it and set it up on the end of their building in this big diesel shop.
Like third day on the road. Yeah, that was awesome.
We had semis, dump trucks going by us while we're hanging out there in our camper, and the truck's being worked on. But those guys were able to get it in and get it fixed to the tune of $2,000 for a new turbo. Yay. $2,000.
And 7 hours later.
Yeah, $2,000, and 7 hours later, they had us back on the road at about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. So that was our really big hurdle. We left there. We actually stayed in a Walmart that night because we only had a few hours to drive.
Right.
And then the next day,
Iowa.
we entered into, yeah, that was Iowa. We entered into Indiana. We had rain for 2 solid days going across Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And then what do we have?
I think it was cloudy in Omaha and it started raining. Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, because that hurricane.
Oh, because we hit Gordon.
Yeah, was it Gordon?
Yeah, Gordon was passing through.
So yeah, a tropical depression that came up through like Louisiana area ended up being all rain for us. And then what did we have for 2 weeks in Pennsylvania in the Poconos?
Straight rain every day. I could have sworn we were in Washington State.
There was one sunny day.
Yeah.
There might have been one sunny day.
We had one sunny day, like in the middle of the week, and then that one weekend we had 2 sunny days because I got a lot of work done on the RV.
Oh yeah, because you didn't tell them. We haven't gotten as far as our first night in the Poconos in that downpour of rain.
Yeah, okay. So
how we woke up.
Yeah, talk about that, because that was a learning lesson for any of you thinking about doing this yourselves. We definitely have some advice here, so go ahead and explain that situation.
Well, I think when we first set up, our carpets were damp from the 2.5 days of solid rain going through Indiana, Ohio, and all across the entire state of Pennsylvania. And we thought maybe it was because of driving on the highway, the water was getting kicked up and somehow leaking into the RV through the slide in the
We're gonna get to that.
That's another story.
All the mistakes we made.
And so we all hunkered down for our first night in an actual, like, we're staying here for a week and a half because we were running behind. And woke up in the morning and there was water. Oh, Travis was woken up in the morning with water dripping on his head. Within about 10 minutes of him waking up, shining the light all over the place, and us feeling the walls in the master bedroom, I was beginning to think this was the worst idea we'd ever had, because the walls, all the crevices were dripping wet. The strip of, I don't know, laminate trim that goes across above our bed was just dripping water out of like 3 parts, but the whole thing was wet. So, and our slide was still wet. The carpet was wet. The carpet in his nightstand was wet. It was not a good morning at all. And we knew also Florence was heading our way, so there was going to be no way to dry out the camper to figure out what was going on.
Right.
It turns out, as we took off the trim and started figuring out exactly where the water was, it was a ton on where the aluminum siding.
Not the siding, the frame.
The frame
is
and the
built out
inside.
of aluminum. So it was really cold outside when we got to Pennsylvania, and of course warm inside with the heater running in all of our bodies and breathing. So yeah, it was a condensation building up on the aluminum frame members of the trailer, and they were what was dripping down in. So we realized the whole back framing of the slide out that has our wardrobe in the master bedroom, all of that had condensation all around it. So it turns out it was 95% condensation was our issue.
7 breathing bodies, and a shower taken the night before with no fans, and dinner cooked on the stove with no fan.
Yeah, and not only no fans, no vents, because we are thinking we need to keep our heat inside the RV, and we kept our vents closed. So, like big morons, we left our vents closed and kept all of that moisture inside the RV, and as we slept throughout the night, we just didn't help things because we're just heating the thing up and breathing and everything. So yeah, but there were legitimate leaks. And
there were, which we also discovered on the sunny day.
Yeah, I was able to get those sealed up, I think, because we've gone through some torrential rains since then, and did not have any water in it. So it was good to have a couple of sunny days. But as you can see, today's sunny, so it's not all bad.
And I'm impressed that we're actually laughing at it. And it seems like forever ago, but it was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh man.
And I was really concerned that we had made a terrible, terrible mistake.
I was wondering if we hadn't bought a piece of Swiss cheese for a camper.
Our first night stopover, that was the first night, right?
Yeah.
We stopped in Sidney, Nebraska at a pretty cute little RV overnight stop. And it's our first time with the tanks. We filled the tanks because Trav showered.
I didn't fill them. I put about a third of the water in, so I don't want people thinking I'm dragging around a whole tank full of fresh
Okay, because that's a bad thing.
That's heavy.
I don't know all the ins and outs of what we should and should not carry. So he had filled the tanks for our water usage with about a third of the water there. I had drank a sip of it right before bed and was like, wow, that is the worst tasting water I've ever had in my whole life, and like spit it out in the sink. The kids thought it was kind of okay, but tasted a little wonky. So we went ahead and made a box of Annie's mac and cheese deluxe, which I usually don't eat, but it's very tasty when I taste the children's. So I was really excited actually to have it. But we started eating it after we made it, and it really tasted like the worst thing
like it
I've
was
ever
made
eaten.
with pool water.
I would call pool water a step above.
Like chlorine.
Oh, it was
bad.
awful. So the whole time I'm actually eating it like, and the kids are like, it's not really that bad, but I could not even get it down.
The thing that was worse than the mac and cheese was watching her eat the mac and
Yeah.
cheese. Like, I was having trouble eating the mac and cheese because of what she was doing. I was fine with the mac and cheese.
So yeah, that was the first lesson there, is check the water before you decide to go ahead and put it in your tank. And one of the things we need to get is a water filter. We don't have a water filter. I see a lot of them on RVs, and that's on my list to buy.
Probably because they filled up with the sinks.
Yeah. Everybody's been through that campsite. So then Poconos was very wet. We had a couple of nice days. We saw relatives. It was a good stay. Our awning popped off one night.
Oh yeah, our awning broke. That was awesome too.
About, what was it, 9:30 at night, I'm rolling in the awning to get ready to pack things up and go to bed, and all of a sudden the one half of the awning just falls off completely. So here we are with our noisy diesel truck trying to back it up to the camper, and so I have a place to stand and fix the awning. That was fun, because of course you're not really supposed to make noise from 10 o'clock on, and you're not supposed to be working on things, really. It's been a trying trip so far, but we're still laughing and smiling.
Then we have all this stuff back home that we're having to deal with, which we'll explain another time, because we're still working on it.
That's a whole nother show.
It's caused a bit of stress for sure. But I have to say, the oddest part about for me being on this journey is that these really frustrating things happen. And had they happened when we were back home in our daily routine, I would sit and run the tape in my head about, oh, why is this happening? Why is this happening? I can't believe it. We're going to have to deal with such and such. And I would just belabor the point. Here, there's just not even any time to get stuck on it. You're on to the next thing. You got to figure out where you're staying, what you're eating for dinner, get the dogs out, because the dogs need extensive exercise living in such a small space. So even though we had a kind of rough day yesterday, which includes the stuff at home that we'll explain later, today the sun's out, dogs are walked, we're ready to go see some sights in Acadia National Park, which we've always wanted to go to, and I'm just not obsessing about all those things that should have happened a different way.
swell after the wave.
Is it his job to tell you about the waves?
I was turned this way. The wave was that way.
There's no wave.
There was. There's a hug.
No hugs. Yeah, it's kind of funny. One of the realizations we've had is you think you're going to slim down and lighten your load and everything and simplify life, but we kind of have yet to kick back and feel like we're simplified. We're always a little compressed on our time schedule, and we're trying to figure out how to correct that. And a lot of that has to do with the stuff that's going on at the house right now. But yeah, it's certainly never a dull moment. I'm looking forward to tonight when we actually get to put our feet up by a campfire. We plan on buying some live lobster and boiling them for dinner for 2 of us.
We think it's very cruel.
Hopefully that's not too windy, but this is Cadillac Mountain on Desert. What's the name of this place? Mount Desert Island.
Acadia National Park.
Yes, we're inside Acadia National Park.
Gorgeous, like
Cadillac Mountain, and it is absolutely beautiful. Check this out. So it's been a rare sunny day here, unfortunately, but I think it was worth all of the rain we endured. Really pretty stoked to be out here finally before we check out of Maine. Squished my foot in a puddle of water.
You deserve it. That's karma.
I was gonna step back and film you instead of help you up that rock.
Oh, okay, great.
Just in case you tumble, so we have something to document it.
In my butt, so it doesn't fall out.
They're gonna make an insurance claim.
You're gonna fill the insurance claim.
Yeah.
So, Daddy, what you got there in that bag?
Here in this bag here, we got some lobster. We're gonna introduce our lobsters to our salted butter. And wanna give them a jacuzzi bath.
What's the lobsters' names in the bag and what do they sound like?
Larry Lobster and Mary Lobster.
What's Mary Lobster's voice?
I don't know how to do a male or female voice. I'm Mary Lobster, and I don't think I would like a jacuzzi bath.
Do Mr. Lobster's voice.
Well, I'm Larry Lobster, and I definitely know I will not like a jacuzzi bath. I think my lobsters are from New York.
Yeah, you think?
The Bronx.
We should some.
It's so rough with them.
Dude, they're living things.
Well then, I am going back in here
God.
Dude, sorry about that. That's not gonna make you taste very good.
That's yours. Hey, don't spray me. Hey.
Are you supposed to eat his eyeballs too?
His eyeball?
They don't fit.
Kind of fits. What happened with your lobster, Harley? What
Got
is,
on your face.
I
what is
pressed.
that on your cheek?
I got.
Did your lobster explode on you?
Yeah, I pressed it on the shoulder.
Oh dear. His lobster exploded on him.
Hey, it's payback. You made me fall in the river. Or the ocean.
Now you guys both smell like the sea.
Hey guys, please subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be among one of the first people to watch our new videos. Give this video a thumbs up and comment down below where in the world you would most like to visit.